Hey, what's going on, guys? In this video I'm going to give you a few useful Chrome extensions for programming, web development, design, anything to do with building websites or web applications. Alright, I'm always looking for tools that can help streamline development as well as increase productivity, so let's take a look at some Chrome extensions that can help with that. So these aren't going to be in any particular order, but first one we're going to look at is a little extension called JavaScript and CSS Code Beautifier. So if you're a web developer, chances are that you're looking at source code daily, and when you view it in your browser by default, it kind of looks like shit. So this tool will take the source code, whether it's JavaScript or CSS, and make it much more readable and easier on the eyes. So let's go ahead and install this. And I'm going to put the link to all the extensions in the description. We're going to click Add Extension. Okay, and you can see we have a little icon that popped up here. There are some options we can look at. We can change the theme, the font. Let's see, JavaScript allow 10 new lines between tokens. Do not wrap lines. So you can basically format how it looks. All right, so let's go ahead and just go to any website. We'll go to my website, which will be changing soon actually. And then I'm going to do a Control U, and let's click on a JavaScript file. So let's see, I'm just going to search for .js, and let's see, let's just look at jQuery. And this looks like an absolute mess, and this should work with minified JavaScript and non-minified. So we have this little yellow bar that pops up when we look at either a JavaScript or CSS file, and it says Beautify now or no thanks. So let's go ahead and click Beautify now and see what happens. And you can see that it's much more readable now. Okay, it adds all the indents, all the line breaks, everything you need to be able to read this. Alright, let's take a look at a CSS file now. So we'll go ahead and look at main.css, which doesn't look bad in the first place, but if it was all jumbled up, if it was minified, we could click Beautify and it would change to a readable format. Alright, so that's the first extension. Very, very simple. The next one we're going to look at is the web developer extension. Okay, which is this one right here. Now, by default, Chrome has DevTools, which I'm sure you've used, and they're great. They have, you can view the source, you can edit stuff, you can view the JavaScript console, you can view network activity, you can do a lot of things. Debugging is really easy. But this is an extra tool you can add that makes things really easy. It doesn't do as much as the Chrome DevTools, but I think the layout is simple. You can see it's just one menu that comes up when you can select different categories and just select different actions. So let's go ahead and add that. Add extension, and that should pop up here. Alright, so we have this little gear icon, and now we have this menu. So we can choose to quickly disable JavaScript if we want, disable notifications, plugins, pop-ups, and we can obviously reset these features. And then for cookies, we can disable cookies, delete domain cookies, session cookies. For the CSS, we can disable all styles. You can see it's just a simple click. Browser default styles, you may want to do that. Embedded styles, inline styles, and let's see over here, link style sheets. Okay, and it's in real time. It's a live update. Print styles, you can edit the CSS. So you can see down here we have the CSS. I'm just going to get rid of all of it, and it automatically updates. And let's say we want to put body, and up here let's say background. Let's say we wanted that red, and it automatically updates. Okay, obviously it's not going to stick because that wouldn't work out too well. If we reload, that's going to go away. Okay, it's only on your machine. And let's see what else. View CSS, use border box model, can reload style sheets. So a bunch of tasks we can do that have to do with the CSS. Okay, you can also work with forms. So we can check all checkboxes, uncheck all boxes, clear the fields, clear radio buttons. We can convert form get to post and post to get, auto completion, display passwords, all kinds of stuff you can do with forms. All right, and I'm not going to go over every single function here. Images, we can disable all images. We can, let's see, find broken images. We can display the paths. That's kind of cool. So you'll see every image on the page has its path displayed above it. Hide background images. I guess so. This right here is a background image. See, we can hide it. Reload. We can outline all the images, and so on. So information, we can, let's see, display abbreviations, display the div order. Okay, so the order of divs. We can display all the element information. If we hover over something and click, it should give us all that information. So this here is a paragraph in the DOM, gives you the position, the layout, the text values, all the styling information. Okay, which you can do with the default Chrome Dev Tools, but this is kind of a nicer layout, I think. All right, let's see. Let's disable that. And what else? Table stuff. If you're using tables, view the JavaScript. Okay, miscellaneous. We can clear cache, clear history, color picker, some other helpful stuff. We can outline. Let's say we want to outline all the block level elements. We can outline all the external links and frames and headings and all kinds of stuff. We can resize the window. Okay, you can do that easily. And let's see, tools, we can validate code. So if we want to validate the CSS, it takes us to the w3.org site and shows us all the different errors and warnings for the CSS. And let's see, options, reset page, options. All right, so you can see you can do a bunch of things with this extension. All right, so that's going to be it for that. The next thing that I want to show you, let me just remove that. All right. The next one we're going to look at is, where is it? Gist Clipper, or JustBox Clipper. Okay, so this is actually a companion extension to GISTBOX, which is a service by GitHub that allows you to, basically, it's a snippets manager. You can add snippets, you can label them by language or by category or whatever. It's my favorite snippet manager. And this extension will give you an easy way to save code snippets from anywhere on the web. Okay, all you need is a GitHub account. So let's go ahead and add this. Okay, and now you'll see down here they give you this little sample block of code. If we click this box right here, it's going to go ahead and make this a new gist. Okay, you can see we have the code down here. We can add some description text. We can call it, let's say, sample.js, and you'll see that the type will automatically go to JavaScript, but you can choose whatever language, whatever extension you want. All right, so we'll go ahead and save. Okay, gist has been saved, so now I'm going to view it in GISTBOX, and there it is. Okay, so we can easily save snippets. And if we go to, let's say we're looking at the Angular 2 documentation. And let's see, quick start, and let's say we want this snippet here. You'll see that the box automatically shows up right here, and we can save it. Okay, so pretty cool. We can also just create a new one if we do a right click here and just say create gist, and we can just create one from scratch if we want. Okay, and you can have all these are custom labels that I added, but if you create labels, you'll be able to use those as well. All right, so really nice for managing your snippets. All right, the next one we're going to look at is awesome autocomplete for GitHub. So let's go ahead and add this. And what this does is it gives you just that, an autocomplete for the GitHub search box. So if we go to github.com and let's say we want to start learning about Angular, we want some repositories on Angular, and I start to type, you'll see it actually shows the one that I have, but it'll search for that. It'll also search for active users that have that, whatever text you put in here. All right, so if we just keep typing Angular 2, you'll see that gives us the repositories and users. All right, this isn't part of GitHub. This is coming from that extension. And when you're on a GitHub page with a search box, this little icon will light up. All right, and then you'll see if I remove this and we reload and I start to type, we don't get anything. Okay, so just a tiny little extension to help you find what you need on GitHub. Alright, so this next one is absolutely awesome for PHP developers. It's called PHP Console, and basically it will allow you to display PHP errors and var dumps in the Chrome console, just like you would with JavaScript. Alright, JavaScript, we can just do a simple console log and show what we want. So this allows us to do that with PHP. Now, I'm not going to go over exactly how to use this in this video. I'm going to make a separate video for that, because we actually have to not only install the extension, but we have to install this on our server as well, so that we can make our calls. But let's go ahead and add it here. And then there's actually a sample page that we can go to see how it works. Alright, so let's see, we want to go and copy this right here, the live demo, and let's visit that site. And then what I'm going to do is open up the console with F12, and then let's choose this debug vars, and you'll see down here we get all of these console logs, just like as if we were in JavaScript. Okay, so we can add these labels here, and then the text, and then it'll also give us pretty much any error. If we have an undefined variable or we're missing a semicolon, it's going to give us the error down here rather than showing it in the application, which is not what you want to do if your site or your application is live. You don't want users seeing that stuff. So this is really helpful. So I am going to do a video for this extension alone. So basically what you have to do is install PHP Console using Composer, and then just require it in your file, and you can simply set a handler, and then you can just call handler debug and add your text, and then your basically your heading or title, whatever you want to call it. And then it gets a lot more complicated too, but I probably won't go into all of that stuff. But again, just a really cool extension for PHP developers. Alright, so the next one we're going to look at is Postman, which is actually an app, a Chrome app, not an extension. And what this is used for is making HTTP requests to servers. So if you have or you're building a REST API, or you're working with a REST API, you can make GET requests, POST, delete, PUT requests to update data. And this is just one of many extensions that can do that, but this is my personal favorite. And this is actually written with Electron, which allows you to build desktop applications with JavaScript. So let's go ahead and add Postman. You'll see it's under apps, not extensions. And let's see, let's go into Chrome apps, Chrome ://apps, and you'll see we have Postman. If we open that up, it's going to open up a new window, and you can sign up here and log in, or you can just say take me straight to the app. Okay, so from here we can make our request to whatever endpoint or URL we want. We can choose the type. You see we have all different types of requests. So let's just make a simple GET request to GitHub. Okay, so if we say HTTP, and let's go api.github.com/users, I believe that will work. Let's try it. And that will give us the first, I think, 100 users on GitHub, and you can see all their information. We can also make a request to users/ and then the username. I'll put mine in here, and you'll see it will get all of my info from the API. So pretty simple. We can also make post requests, and we can add data. If we're adding data to the server, we can do that through the headers. And then we can do that. We can also make put requests, which will update data. We can delete. We can even call patch requests, things like that. Some of these I'm not even sure what they are, but it's very, very handy when you're building APIs. All right, the next one we're going to look at is Marmoset. Now, this isn't really something you use in development. I just thought it was kind of cool. It'll basically take any code you want and turn it into an image. So let's say add to Chrome, add app. This is actually an app too. And if we click on Marmoset, you'll see that we can put any code we want here, and it'll give you a cool looking image. You can see it makes it go at an angle, and you can choose different types, film, RGB shift, so you can add some effects. You can choose the language as well, so you can get the correct text highlighting, and then you have different themes. Okay, so you can see we get black. Let's see what else. Erlang, dark, midnight. So there's all kinds of themes. All right, nothing. It's not something that's super useful, but if you're building a website for your web development or web design company and you want to have kind of a cool image with some custom code, then this is a good thing to use for that. So moving along here, the next one we're going to look at is Window Resizer, and this is an awesome extension for building and testing responsive websites or responsive applications. It uses specific sizes that you can quickly change to view your site on different displays. So let's go ahead and add this. Okay, so we'll just use this site as an example, but up here you'll see the little icon, and we can choose a whole bunch of pre-selected sizes. So let's say we want to view 480 wide. Okay, and you can see that that would be basically a mobile view. Okay, we can go down to 320 as well. Let's see. We can go, tablet size would be around 768. And let's see, it even gives you a description. You can see iPad would be that, small desktop, and then large desktop. So we can quickly change to different sizes without having to drag and guess, where we're at. It'll tell us the exact pixels. So helpful for responsive web design. And you can also edit presets. You can create your own settings, your own options, and so on. Okay, this next one is called ColorZilla, and this was actually, it started out as a Firefox plugin, but it's now available for Chrome as well. And it's a simple extension that'll basically give you an in-browser eyedropper tool, and you can get the value of any color on any website. Back in the day, I would take a screenshot and then open that in Photoshop, paste it in, and then use the eyedropper tool there, get the color, get the hexadecimal value, but that was just way too much work to get a simple color. So let's go ahead and add this, and it should add a little eyedropper tool up here. So let's go ahead and click that, and we'll go to Color Picker, and you'll see that I can just go around the page, and it's going to give us the RGB value, the hexadecimal value. You see the color change right here. Alright, and then if we click on it, it's actually going to copy it to the clipboard for us. And you'll see if I were to paste that in right here, it gives us the hexadecimal value. Alright, so pretty handy. We can also look at our history, palette browser, so we can look at different colors here as well. So just a small extension, but gives you some really helpful functionality. Alright, so next we have the LOREM IPSUM generator. When you're building applications or websites, we often need to fill some content so that we can see what the actual working project will look like. For instance, a blog post, if you're building a blog application, and you may visit a site like lipsum.com to generate sample text or LOREM IPSUM. Well, this extension will simply put an icon in your toolbar that you can click, and you can quickly generate that text without having to go to another site. So let's go ahead and add that. And you see we get the little icon up here, and let's click on that, and automatically it's going to generate one paragraph with 10 sentences. And we can easily copy that, and then we can change it if we want to 2 paragraphs, and we can put the number of sentences we want. So pretty helpful, very simple, but again, very helpful. Alright, so next one we have is WAPPALYZER, and this is a really cool extension. This allows you to go to any website you want or any application, and it'll show you the different technologies that it uses. Okay, so let's go ahead and add that. And that should create a little icon up here, okay? And let's go ahead and see what this WAPPALYZER.com uses. So you can see it uses Amazon CloudFront, uses the CDN, uses analytics. It's running an Nginx server, Swiftlet, which I'm not sure. I guess that's a web framework for Swift. And then it's running on Ubuntu, PHP, and then the Snap framework, JavaScript framework. All right, if we go to my site, and you can see that it already knows that it's a WordPress site, And this site I'm going to be updating soon. I'm going to redo it in, I think, Python. But this is on an Apache server. Analytics is running. I use MailChimp for the offers, the courses, updates, whatever. We're running PHP 5.6, Twitter Bootstrap, WordPress. I'm using the Yoast SEO plugin. It uses jQuery, and this Twitter emoji JavaScript graphics. All right, so this is a pretty nice extension for when you see a website or an application you like and you really want to know exactly what it uses, so that you can get some ideas from it. All right, this next one is for React.js, which is a UI library for JavaScript. I have a lot of videos on React. I use it all the time. I really like it. And this helps you create a React applications and UIs. So let's go ahead and add this. And then we need to go to a site that uses React. So I'm going to just search for to do MVC React. Okay, we'll click on that. This is just a simple React application. So what we can do is open up the Chrome tools with F12, and you'll see we now have a React tab. Okay, and we can basically use this just like we do with the Elements tab. We can hover over stuff. Let's see, select, and then we can hover over stuff, and you'll see if we select that, and let's see, where's the component? Oh, we need to go back to the React. So to do item, so if we click on that over here, it'll show us the actual ID, the key. It'll show us all the different props it has, which includes all the functions that it uses, as well as the property. So the to-do property, you can see the ID, the title, whether it's completed, and then it also shows us the state, which in this case it has one value called edit text. All right, so if we go up here, you'll see we can hover over to-do app, which is basically the core component. Gives us the model, gives us the state. We have editing, new to-do, and now showing in our state. So this is really helpful for really dissecting React applications. Now the last one we look at is we're going to look at is Momentum, and this actually isn't. It has nothing to do with development or programming. It's more of a productivity app, and I'm adding it here because in just about every video I've done since I installed this, I've been asked what it is. So basically, I already have it installed, but when we open up a new tab, it'll give you a screen like this with a random high-quality image. Gives you the time. It'll say, you know, if it's morning, good morning, or whatever. And then get rid of that. And then it'll ask you the main focus for today. So, for example, I could say YouTube, and that'll just display that. And then when tomorrow comes, it'll clear out and it'll ask you again. In addition to that, you have this little to-do list over here. All right, so you can see I have the bills I need to pay, which I already did, so I can cross those off. And then you can add a new to-do by just typing it in, let's say test, and then enter, and that'll add that. And you can cross them out. You can also delete them totally. All right, so that's pretty much it, I think. You can also get the weather. You can see up here it gives you the current weather. All right, and if we want to change some settings, you can see we can toggle things, the weather, the search box, quote. You can see down here there's a random quote. We can toggle that on and off, the to-do list, and so on. All right, and there is a premium version that adds some other stuff, notes, and so on, but this is just the free version. All right, guys, so hopefully you enjoyed this and maybe found something that it will be useful to you in the future, and that's it. Thanks for watching.